the Merseyside derby happened, apparently. In our eyes, it might as well have... Yeah, no, it's been kind of swept under the carpet, but that's... How's you feeling on it? Because I was talking to your compatriot, Peter McPartland, after the game, and he said that, you were quite frustrated and quite disappointed ultimately because, and I said as much, Everton did more than enough on any other day to win that game.
Yeah, disappointed, frustrated, let down, all of those. Just because...
They're not familiar, those feelings, in any way, shape or form.
Not us winning Merseyside derby. Can't remember a feeling like this before. But no, look, going into it, we were doing okay. We were playing well. Liverpool struggling a little bit, And I'm frustrated because, we probably should have won the game on if you're talking clear-cut chances. I'm not. Neither team dominated. I think the possession was 50.9. If Brendan and Roberto.
Who won the passing though?
Everton won the passing.
Everton won the passing. There you go. Yeah.
So apparently, it always plays out. Doesn't win you anything, does it? Winning the passing. Been winning that for a few years. But no, look, it just always feels like we don't ever perform the way we can when we play Liverpool. And me and Ped have spoke about it many times. Is that Liverpool wore a different colour shirt? If they'd wore a United shirt or a Chelsea shirt, or Everton would have played the game a totally different way. And it's until Everton can get over the inferiority complex that they've got, it's going to be these kind of occasions. But I was impressed with Liverpool, to be honest. For the first 35 minutes, I thought they looked very compact. Obviously changed the system a little bit, but no one in a million years is going to convince me that Sakho's a decent defender, mate. Not really? In a million years.
Sakho.
Yeah, I know he's iconic. Yeah, but not a footballer.
Well, yeah, I think the thing that annoyed me was that you had a makeshift defence, and then again we saw it with Arsenal as well. Arsenal had a makeshift defence against us, and it meant we were okay, but we should be Liverpool should be taking opportunities like that to put teams to the sword when they've got clear opportunities like that to present themselves. But it's just to know what's everyone's take on Everton at the minute, because I'll be honest, I didn't think he should be anywhere near as good as he's been so far this season. But I don't. What do you reckon?
Beginning of the season, maybe tip for relegation, perhaps.
You're having that back.
All I'll say is that no, hey, everyone's got a but
relegation.
It depends, right? It depends how you view. If you obviously, when you watch football, you obviously know a bit about football, so you can't ever make an assumption. Those assumptions are based on the fact that Everton massively underperformed last season, massively, and still finished above teams like West Ham, who were allegedly having a great season. Everton were diabolical last season, but if you go back over the last 10-15 years, Everton have consistently finished in the top 8. So to have one bad season out of that and then be tipped so that it was embarrassing really by hearing people say it. But we done a league table thing on deadline day, and I had to readjust it, didn't I? Because whoever had represented Everton had them 11th.
No faith.
They'd had them at 11th or 13th, and teams like West Ham and Palace were going to win the league because they bought these players. And I think if you look at the squads, there's not many Palace players, I'd say, not many West Ham players, I'd say. So Everton for me will finish 6th, 7th, 8th.
Yeah, got decent. You guys got decent players.
Yeah.
Like Lukaku will get into most teams, and again he's scoring loads of goals this season. Naismith has looked decent.
John Stones.
John Stones.
Chelsea representation.
John Stones. These are top players.
Jack Elford, the best for me, still the best English centre back by a country mile. No one can get near.
Ross Barkley. These are not mugs. So I can't understand anybody who would tip.
Be honest, right?
For relegation, that's a joke.
Exactly. Go through Coleman. Yeah. Most teams would have Seamus.
Coleman's a very good player.
Oh no, I discovered this doing our combined 11, Liverpool, Everton 11 this week. Was I did a first draft and was like, okay, there's a few too many Everton players in here. Back up for second, and then well, we can't have Baines because he's been injured, so we'll have to put Moreno in there and there.
No, it shows, isn't it? They've got a very good team, and I'll tell you what, I've never been to the Merseyside derby, but I've been there with Arsenal, and I know it's a very, very difficult place to go to Goodison, and their fans are always really up for it. It's when we go there, it's quite a hostile,
combustible,
and it's a hostile place. But I think,
full of blood. It is full of blood.
That's true. But then also I think at Everton though, that if you can get an early goal against them, there's a sort of team where their fans then are a bit,
Right.
So But no, I think Everton will have a good season, and I think Everton. If I was to say my opinion, I think at the moment, Everton and Liverpool, there's not much in it.
Yeah, no, I think
they're very evenly
I
matched.
think you're dead right. It's interesting because I think the only thing for me was looking at Martinez, and that when it's not going well, and you see this with every manager, your temptation is to look to what they've done in the past or other things that have gone wrong, and it would be easy to look at Martinez and go, it's not working out. Remember Wigan and think about how but it fell off a cliff, and it was easy to make. You could have made a case that they were back on a downward trajectory after last season.
I don't disagree with that, and I'm still not convinced that he's the right man for Everton. I think he's done you judge him over, he's been this is his third season now, fantastic in the first season, but obviously we still had a lot of the steel of David Moyes, and he put a lovely little bit of polish on it, with nice attack and play. Last season we underperformed. The problem I had with him was the first season he was so brave. I remember the Merseyside derby, we lost Leighton Baines and he put a Delafeu on a right wing instead of, and Everton could have won that, but for the performance from Ingley that day, Everton could have won that about 9-5. It was one of those games. But then last season, he was so stubborn, and every fan could see what was going on, and he would never change it. And still too often for me, Lukaku's isolated. I think if you put another centre forward with Romelu Lukaku gets 25 goals easily when he doesn't have to do all the stuff he had to do yesterday, holding it up. When he can just run on, he's a good finisher, and I still think he's got his kinks, Martinez. I'm unconvinced by him. I think he's a lovely fella. He's fantastic to interview. And I think he talks really well. But a bit like Brendan Rodgers, I think he needs a really tough number two with him who can guide them and say,
isn't that Dunk's job?
But he's only a coach. Yeah, but I'm talking a proper number two who's going to say, who's going to grab him. Well, I wish Duncan would grab him. But the same with Brendan Rodgers. But the same with Brendan Rodgers. Both have got really good coaching things, but both really need to shut up when they're talking. Let someone else do the press conference.
Wouldn't be much talking, would it?
Doesn't matter. Just don't let either of them talk.
Shut up when you're talking. It's an interesting one. Obviously we're going to be doing these shows on a regular basis now, but how high do you think Everton can go this season?
I said at the start of the season, I'd love to think, and it looks at the moment like the top four's wide open, which I didn't think it was going to be. I thought it was closed shop. Said that many times. Chelsea, and we'll talk about Chelsea in a minute, but they're all over the place. I've said anywhere from, at this moment in time, Everton can finish anywhere from 4th to 12th.
Yeah.
But I think you can name 6, 7, and I wouldn't, even though I don't think this could happen, I would put Liverpool in the same bracket at the moment.
Absolutely.
But realistically, I think Everton will be top 8.
Great, okay. Well, do let us know your thoughts, particularly on where you think Everton can go. Have you been surprised by the form of the season? Have you got any condescending remarks you'd like to make about whether they get relegated or not? I don't know. In the comments below. Still to come, we're going to be discussing Jose Mourinho and his potential meltdowns at Chelsea. We're going to be discussing Arsenal, of course, and Man United and a whole lot more. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't done that already. In fact, go and do it now and make everyone happy.